your next chance to help shape California's world-leading circular economy reforms. Plus, the state's beverage container recycling rate climbs with over 18 billion containers recycled last year. And the latest department decisions to protect the health of Californians and their communities, working together towards a waste-free future. CalRecycle's monthly public meeting starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for CalRecycle's May 2024 monthly public meeting, where we share important progress and updates as we work together to build a circular system that cuts waste and reuses all materials and products. First, for a safety moment, please identify the 2 exits closest to you. If you hear a fire alarm, please take your valuables and use the exit signs. Now here's information about our Spanish language interpretation.
Language shouldn't be a barrier when it comes to protecting our air, water, and land. CalRecycle is simulcasting this meeting in both English and Spanish. Click the public meeting banner at the top of calrecycle.ca.gov for a link to our webcast in English and Spanish. If you're attending this meeting in person in Fire and Share Auditorium, we have Spanish interpretation devices available. Let our team on the left-hand side of the dais know if you need one. El idioma no debe de ser una barrera cuando se trata de proteger nuestro aire, nuestra agua y tierra. CalRecycle está transmitiendo simultáneamente esta junta pública en español e inglés. Puede encontrar el enlace en línea en español e inglés en la parte superior de nuestra página web calrecycle.ca.gov. Si asiste a esta junta en persona en el auditorio Bar & Share, tenemos dispositivos de traducción al español disponibles. Solo informe a nuestro equipo al lado izquierdo del mostrador de presentación si necesita uno.
Our first agenda item today is the Director's Report. CalRecycle is excited to welcome our newly appointed director, our own Zoe Heller, who launched CalRecycle's Division of the Circular Economy. Prior to that, she served as the Director of Materials Management and Local Assistance Division, and previously served as our Deputy Director over the Office of Policy. Good morning, Zoe, and congratulations on your new role.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you so much. It's truly an honor to be here in this new role. I'm very excited. As Maria just highlighted, I've done quite a dance around the department, so looking forward to continuing working on the things I've already worked on with you all and diving into some new initiatives as well. As you know, we've got a great team. Some of our execs are up here today, some in the room. Hi, Mark DeBee. And we've got a great team at CalRecycle. So just looking forward to continuing the good work, taking on some new work, and we've got a lot to do. So a couple of highlights that I wanted to mention is we've been really busy at the department, as you all know. There's been quite a lot going on across the board, and a couple of items that I wanted to highlight is we are taking a look at your comments that you've sent us on the SB 54 regulations, just a couple of those that we're reading and getting through and preparing responses for. Also, SB 1013, dealer cooperatives and dealer registration, we're reviewing those comments as well. The Senate Bill 343 report, we're working on that, and we'll have some updates for upcoming public meetings. So please, I know many of you are signed on to our listservs, continue to engage. We're looking forward to having more opportunities for discussion on these various topics, and also diving into some public engagement on our zero waste plan and the needs assessment for 54. So lots to come, and that's just a couple of the things that we have going on here. We'll have a number of other updates today. So with that, I will turn it back over to Maria.
Thanks, Zoe. California is working to advance our nation-leading plastic recycling law. Let's watch a quick message Governor Newsom and Cal EPA Secretary Yana Garcia put out to close out Earth Month, hitting on this year's theme, planet versus plastic.
California and the planet have a plastics pollution problem.
For decades, the plastic industry has run a campaign of deception. The truth is this: under 9% of plastic we throw in our recycling bins actually gets recycled. The rest goes into landfills, and that's the plastic industry's fault.
These plastic manufacturers, they turn out low-quality, single-use plastics while falsely promising that they're recyclable.
Plastic is also made of fossil fuels, meaning the plastics industry is the fossil fuel industry. As we transition toward cleaner sources of energy, big oil has been driving up the production of plastic as a last gasp in their effort to pad their profits without paying any mind to the new pollution crisis it's creating. California is holding manufacturers responsible to stop the overuse of cheap plastics and pollution. In 2022, Governor Newsom signed SB 54, requiring plastic manufacturers to cut their production of single-use plastic packaging and design truly recyclable products.
As the most beautiful state in the union, California's fought hard to have the toughest rules in the country to protect our environment and future generations. This Earth Week, we're recommitting to fight the climate crisis and to tackle plastics.
Now Chief Deputy Director Mindy McIntyre joins us with the plastic pollution reduction laws updates.
Good morning. As Director Hiller mentioned, we received a number of comments through the formal comment period, public comment period, which ended on May 8th. We received over 300 letters and thousands of individual comments, so we are busy at work reviewing those and developing responses. We are also now accepting public comment on the development of the needs assessment, which is another critical component of implementation of 54. So we encourage you to use that public portal, which is our smart comment portal, and you can visit CalRecycle's Need Assessment webpage for a link to that comment portal, but it is live now. This month, the SB 54 Advisory Board also held a meeting on May 17th, and the department also hosted a non-regulatory workshop on May 1st. For future meetings and workshop updates, please subscribe to the program's listserv or check back at the CalRecycle's event page, webpage. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Mindy. Now Beverage Container Recycling Program Deputy Director Amy Cameron joins us with some program updates. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, everyone. CalRecycle published the beverage container recycling data for calendar year 2023, which shows that Californians redeemed deposits on 18.8 billion containers of the 26.6 billion CRV beverages sold in the state last year. The result is a 71% beverage container recycling rate for 2023, which is up 1 percentage point from 2022. The 2023 data brings the total containers redeemed throughout the program's history to 493 billion. CalRecycle also this month published its quarterly certification and registration report and compliance and enforcement reports, and you can find those linked to today's agenda. Thanks.
You can offer your comments or questions on any of today's agenda items. Here's how.
California wants your input on recycling and trash pollution issues. Join CalRecycle's decision-making process by making a live public comment on any of today's monthly public meeting agenda items in person or by phone. Microphones are available for those of you in the room with in-person comments. If you're joining remotely, you can call in with your comment. Just click the public meeting banner at the top of our website, then click the public comments button for step-by-step caller instructions. We will address live public comments at the end of the meeting.
So now we go to our Deputy Director over Materials Management and Local Assistance, Kara Morgan, for some important updates.
Thanks, Maria. Hi, everyone. CalRecycle staff reviewed an annual program budget related to the Sharps Waste Stewardship Program. CalRecycle conducted a compliance review after Ultimed submitted 2 incomplete 2024 budgets that were missing a required independent financial audit. Ultimed's 2024 annual program budget, which was delegated to CalRecycle's Chief Deputy Director, was disapproved on May 7th, 2024, due to the missing independent financial audit. As a reminder, Ultimed terminated its program on February 17th, 2023, and is no longer an active program and operator. You can subscribe to CalRecycle's Pharmaceutical and Sharps listserv to receive updates. Next, I'd like to talk about 1383. Everyone that attended the last chat, I hope you found it to be really helpful. The last chat that we held was focused on jurisdiction enforcement programs. There was a tremendous amount of great sharing by our presenters and participants on how jurisdictions are implementing their 1383 enforcement program that was to start this year in January 2024. So it's an important aspect of 1383 implementation. Those chats are recorded and put up on the webpage as well as CalRecycle's YouTube channel. So if you missed it, I hope that you go and watch the recording. Next, and we do have some really exciting chats coming up, one focused on jurisdiction implementation records. So please attend that one, share information. So next, I'd like to talk about the 5-year review report. CalRecycle is required to review and either approve or disapprove each countywide or regional agency integrated waste management plan 5-year review report. That was a lot. These reports are comprehensive analyses of planning documents, which may be impacted by changes in demographics, disposal capacities, funding, as well as implementation of programs. Santa Cruz County submitted its 5-year review report for its countywide integrated waste management plan, concluding that no revisions to the county's planning documents are necessary at this time, and I have approved this item. Or actually, Marshall Graham may have approved that one. Back to you, Maria.
With a very light agenda today, we are now already at pending solid waste and tire facilities permits and emergency waivers. Here's a quick overview of California facility standards, then a statewide facility permit update from Environmental Program Manager Paulina Lawrence.
Protecting the health of Californians and their land, food, water, and air is a big job. Local, state, and federal agencies play different roles to enforce public health and environmental safety standards. In California, solid waste local enforcement agencies process applications, issue and enforce permits for solid waste facilities. These include landfills, transfer stations, compost facilities, or similar operations. CalRecycle must verify permits are consistent with state requirements. Permits can only address areas within the authority of local enforcement agencies and CalRecycle. Check out the link below for more detailed information. Emergency waivers allow temporary changes to solid waste permit requirements in response to local or state disasters. Local enforcement agencies may approve the waivers, which are good for up to 120 days and may be extended. CalRecycle must review approved waivers and can condition, limit, suspend, or terminate them. Check out the link for more detailed information. For waste tire facilities, CalRecycle processes applications, issues and enforces waste tire permits. These include requirements to make sure tires are stored and processed in a way that reduces potential threats from fire and disease-carrying vectors like mosquitoes. Check out the link for more detailed information.
New to this month's agenda for Stanislaus County is Divert Integrated Food Recovery Facility. This is a new solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed July 6, 2024. CalRecycle is the enforcement agency for this jurisdiction. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed design parameters. The proposed activities are a large volume transfer processing facility and a large volume in-vessel digestion facility. Permitted hours of operations will be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Permitted maximum tonnage will be 500 tons per day, 2,800 tons per week. Permitted area will be 18.5 acres with a design capacity of 500 tons per day. For Alameda County, Altamont Landfill and Resource Recovery, Compostable Materials Handling Facility. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed June 25th, 2024. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Increase in the permitted maximum tonnage from 500 tons per day to 750 tons per day, while not exceeding 156,000 tons per year. Increase in the total permitted area from 60.5 acres to 66.2 acres. Increase in the design capacity from 346,700 cubic yards to 408,400 cubic yards, and updates to the report of composting site information. For Kern County, U.S. Borax Heat. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed July 1st, 2024. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Extension of the estimated closure date from 2023 to 2048. Removal of permit conditions that are obsolete or duplicate of existing regulations and/or the monitoring program. And then updates to the joint technical document pages and appendices to reflect the updated estimated closure date. New and not on this month's agenda. For Santa Barbara County, this is Santa Maria Regional Landfill. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed July 15, 2024. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Expanding the hours of operations for receipt of refuse from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday to Saturday to 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday to Saturday. Increasing the permitted maximum tonnage from 6,006 tons per week to 8,820 tons per week. Increasing the design capacity from 13,998,400 cubic yards to 15,278,400 cubic yards. And lastly, updating the estimated closure year from 2028 to 2034. For Riverside County, Oasis Sanitary Landfill. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed July 13, 2024. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Updating the design capacity from 1,157,436 cubic yards to 1,154,632 cubic yards. And then updating the estimated closure year from May 2045 to 2055. For San Bernardino County, CEMEX Black Mountain Quarry Plant, EMSW Conversion Facility. This is a new solid waste facilities permit. Action is needed July 13, 2024. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed design parameters. The proposed facility will be an engineered municipal solid waste conversion facility. Permitted hours of operation will be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Permitted maximum tonnage will be 500 tons per day. Permitted traffic volume will be 20 vehicles per day. There will be a storage limit of 20 trailers for no more than 7 days, and a permitted area of 3.5 acres.
You can find more information on any of today's agenda items. Just go to CalRecycle's homepage and click on the public meeting web banner at the top of the page. Or if you're watching this after the live recording, go halfway down the homepage for a link to the agenda and associated public notices. And now it's time for public comments. First, we'll take comments from the public present here in our Sacramento Cal EPA meeting room. After that, we'll take comments from those participating by phone. And a reminder, your microphones will stay muted until you're called on by the last 4 digits of your phone number. Also, please mute your webcast when you're on the phone to avoid potential feedback issues. So do we have any in-person comments today? You can come to the microphone up here. Anyone? Okay. Okay. We have someone coming on down.
Hi, Shira Lane with Atrium 916, a Creative Innovation Center for Sustainability. I want to congratulate you, Zoe, on your position. Thank you so much. I did want to talk about the grants for the beverage container. We got a small grant to do an art installation that collects CRV cans and bottles, and it opens on either side for unhoused or anybody that wants to collect it. So it's visible, and it has been working. So we put it on a corner where in Old Sacramento where there are no recycling containers, and it was working. People were putting in their cans and bottles, and those that wanted to collect it could open it up, collect it. I wanted to apply for a grant to scale this, to put this art installation in other locations, but the grants that were available were very, very limited and restricted, and what we were doing didn't fit into the parameters that you had. And just to consider maybe opening it up for other innovative ideas might be helpful, so that way we can come with these kind of things. Thank you.
Thank you, Shira.
Good morning. Larry Sweetser on behalf of the Rural Counties ESJPA, and just want to also say congratulations on a well-deserved appointment, and we look forward to working with you on behalf of our 27 counties, and more than welcome to invite you out for a visit, any of your staff as well. So really look forward to working with you. Thanks.
Thank you, Larry.
Any other comments in the room? Okay, it looks like we can go to the phone. Lance, are there any callers on the phone?
Yes, we have one call, and at the last four digits, 1964. You can go ahead and unmute, and we'll take your comment now.
Hi, this is Lisa Tucker calling in from Consumer Watchdog. Zoe, congratulations on your appointment. I'm just calling with two quick questions, which I hope can be answered. One is to clarify the $73.3 million in the Recycling Innovation Grant money. I can't see it in the May revise, and I was wondering if anybody could confirm that it will still be available. And the second question is on the handling fee report, whether you have any remarks to make on the ramifications of 40% cut in handling fees, and if you think that you might revise the methodology.
Thank you for those questions. On your first question, which is applicable to the Redemption Innovation Grant Program, as you know, May Revise just came out, and we are taking a look at what that means as far as our budget here at CalRecycle and across the state. We still intend to move forward with those grants, but more information will be coming as far as when we'll be awarding and when we'll be getting out the next round. So just encourage you to hold tight, and as soon as we have some updates on our funding across the board for CalRecycle, we will provide that. Right now, once again, just evaluating, understanding if there's going to be impacts to the department, what those look like, but our hope is to still be able to get that funding out the door. And your second question on the handling fee report, acknowledge that it was published yesterday, and there is that reduction, as you mentioned in there. We're still having internal conversations. As you know, we need to get out more specific information on what that means in the coming weeks, and we will be doing that, and we would certainly be happy to schedule a follow-up to discuss in more detail. Amy, did you have anything to add to that? Yeah, okay. Thank you for those questions.
Lance, were those all the questions on, or was that all the questions online?
Yeah, no more calls.
Okay, great. All right, you can find the recordings of today's May 2024 monthly public meeting posted at CalRecycle's YouTube page in the coming days. Thanks to everyone who participated in today's public meeting, and our director, Zoe Heller, has some closing remarks.
Yeah, just thank you all for being here today. I realize it was a light agenda. We'll probably have more for you next month and the following month, as we always do. Just also wanted to acknowledge Crystal Arciato, if I got her last name correctly, I think I did, and thank her and acknowledge her for acting as our director the previous couple of months during this transition, and also Mindy's support through the transition. Change is hard, and I feel like we were able to get through it relatively unscathed and keep things operating as normal, thanks to the leadership of not only Crystal and Mindy, but also our executive team as a whole. So just wanted to appreciate them, and that's it. So thank you all for joining today, and we look forward to seeing you next month.